Bob Costas here on the Rich Eisen Show. I brought this up with Gammons and Verducci. I should bring it up with you, too. An interview I had with Jerry Seinfeld a couple weeks ago, he talked about one of the things he loved about baseball is what he said, the democracy of talent and physique in this sport. And then you've got this ALCS with a 6'8" Aaron Judge and a 5'5" Jose Altuve going against each other for the right to play for the World Series. Do you recall a bigger disparity between two MVP candidates in a situation like this ever?
Wow,
Bob?
that is an interesting thought. Now, I happen to be someone who takes a keen interest in this particular aspect of sports. So I know all your Albie Pearsons and your David Ecksteins. I know your Bobby Chances. I know that Whitey Ford was only 5'9" or 5'10". I root, somewhere in the back of my mind, I root for players like this. And Jose Altuve is the guy who's carrying the banner now. But you put it in an interesting place. Altuve, I must say on his behalf, is listed at 5'7". I don't know if you stood next to him and he's actually 5'5", but he is listed at 5'7", okay, at 165. And Aaron Judge is listed as 6'7" and 282. That is about as big a gulf as you could ever imagine, because they aren't just two players. They are, like you say, likely to be the two players who, in some order or other, finish 1-2 in the MVP voting.
But it is the beauty of the sport, isn't it, Bob? Right? I mean, there's no other sport like it in that regard.
It is. And in fact, when I was calling Game 1 in Houston a week ago, I said to Jim Cott, here in the booth, you got 5'6" and 6'5". Okay? But look down on the field. Dustin Pedroia is only 5'9", and he was the MVP in, 2008. And Altuve's only 5'7", and he might be the MVP this year. And Mookie Betts is only 5'9", and he was second to Mike Trout in the MVP the year before. And so what Seinfeld said is correct. The democracy of size in baseball. And even players who are over 6 feet tall, you look at Carl Edwards of the Cubs, the slender slinger. It looks like he's pocketing his meal money and not paying. They're not using any of it. He's just eating at the mini bar at the hotel or something. On the other hand, you could be the same height as Carl Edwards, but weigh 300 pounds like CC Sabathia.
So if you're the measuring stick, are you taller than Jose Altuve, Bob? Do you look down on him when you interview him, when you chat with him?
It's an eye-to-eye thing. We've never truly stood back-to-back. Mm-hmm. But if we do, I'm going to demand that he takes off the spikes. I'm not wearing lifts.
Are you in loafers? Penny loafers? Do you have the penny? I mean, it's got to be a fair situation, right?
Right. I think the way to go is you just remove your shoes and you go in your stocking feet. What I'm afraid of is, and I don't want to find this out, I always used to say, because I'm an honest man, you'd go to the doctor for the yearly physical, and it was always like 5'6" and 5'8". So you round that off, and I always said 5'7".
Sure.
As you get older, you might lose a fraction of an inch. I think honesty may cause me to round it down to 5'6". But 5'6" and 6'5" sounded funnier than 5'7" and 6'5". So that's why I said it that way with Cott.
Hey, you're all about the good TV, Bob. I mean, that's why you have all the Emmys.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that, download our app. Please, just if it's a memory thing, just delete other apps. You don't need those apps. This app, the Rich Eisen Show app, you need that.